Can't you just watch one thing without your phone? Okay, real question. When's the last time you watched something, an entire film or a show, without checking your phone once? Not because you were forcing yourself, just genuinely absorbed, genuinely in it. If you're struggling to remember, that's kind of the point. Because what most people write off as distraction or laziness or just not being a film person anymore, it's something more specific. Something that's been quietly happening to the architecture of how your brain processes time, story, and memory. And the weird part, it's not damage. Your brain is working perfectly. It's just been trained for a completely different environment than the one you think you're living in. Every time you use a second screen, every time your phone comes out while something else is playing, you are training a response pattern. You are teaching your brain that a single, slow-moving narrative is not enough input. That the normal pace of human storytelling is, frankly, beneath what your nervous system now expects. The brain logs this, it adapts. And the next time you sit down to watch something, the threshold for enough stimulation has quietly moved, slightly higher, every single time. Neuroscientists call this hedonic adaptation. The stimulus has to escalate to produce the same effect. And right now, millions of people are walking around with attention systems calibrated for an intensity of input that real life, real conversation, real books, real relationships simply cannot meet. The result isn't diagnosed, it's just a vague feeling that nothing quite lands, that you are there for the week, but somehow not present in it. You probably know someone who isn't like this. They watch one thing at a time, all the way through. They don't scroll while eating. They seem almost unconcerned with the volume of content available to them. Like they're not afraid of missing anything. What you're actually watching, and this is the reframe that changes things, is not willpower. It's a nervous system that was never trained to need the secondary hit, or one that went through the deliberate, uncomfortable process of breaking the dependency. These people don't have better memory because they're smarter. They have better memory because their brain is allowed to do what it was designed to do after an experience ends: consolidate, connect, and keep it. But there's another kind of person in this story, and they're harder to talk about because there are people who reach for the phone not out of habit, but out of something that feels more like relief. The second screen is insulation, a way of never quite being fully present in anything, which means never quite feeling the weight of anything. For these people, the scroll isn't really about content, it's about managing internal experience. And the quiet tragedy is that the very mechanism they're using to feel okay is the same one preventing them from ever feeling fully real. If that lands, it's not an accusation, it's a recognition. And recognition is always the first move. Here's what most people don't know about memory. It isn't recorded in the moment, it's constructed afterward. During idle time, during what we used to call boredom, the brain enters what researchers call the default mode network. It runs a background process, taking the raw data of recent experience and weaving it into narrative, into meaning, into something you can actually retrieve later. Something that feels like yours. Without that process, experience doesn't disappear. But it doesn't stick either. It stays in temporary storage, processed just enough to get through the moment, never written to anything durable. This is why your weeks blur. This is why you forget what you watched. The file was never saved. The phone didn't just take your attention, it took the gap after the attention. And that gap was the whole point. Researchers studying digital behavior have tracked this across large populations, and the pattern is consistent. Higher rates of media multitasking correlate strongly not just with attention difficulties, but with elevated anxiety and a measurable reduction in what psychologists call autobiographical coherence. The sense that your life has a continuous, legible story, that you are the same person who experienced last Tuesday. The cost of constant stimulation isn't paid in the moment. It's paid in the slow erosion of something that has no name until it's gone. So here's what nobody wants to sell you because there's nothing to sell. The answer is not an app. It's not a screen time limit that lets you keep doing everything you're already doing, just slightly less. The answer is the return of something uncomfortable, something we've been frantically eliminating for 15 years. Boredom, real boredom, the kind where you're waiting somewhere and your phone stays in your pocket, and for a few minutes your mind just wanders, connects things, generates something from nothing. This is not a punishment. It is, in the most literal, biological sense, the maintenance cycle for the human brain, the one we canceled. While everyone around you is filling every gap with noise, choosing to sit with the discomfort of doing nothing is not a failure. It's the most radical thing you can do, because on the other side of it, your memory starts to return. The weeks start to have shape. The things you experience start to stay. You're not broken. You were just never given the silence to remember who you are.